Oh my God, fuck yes. I would fucking love a cup of tea.
It's been an eventful 20 minutes.
We just recorded half an episode, guys. And now we're recording
3 times.
it all over again. Actually, yeah, 3 times.
Yeah.
So, welcome
Hi.
back. Hi. We're just, you know what?
We're vibing. Hey, I'm really glad that I have this CBD tea because it's been a chaotic 20 minutes and I'm feeling really chill about it.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually do feel really good as well. We have Daydreaming in our cup, sponsored by Southern Hemp Tea Company. This is not a paid ad. What? And so far, Cortni is a big fan.
I'm a huge fan. Just to be clear, Erin has had 1 sip of her tea and I have only this much left in my tea because I'm chugging it. But I'm like, shit, I need to save some for the podcast. So I'm trying to cool on it now, but it's delicious. It is floral and sweet and it's making me hyper, but like good hyper.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're vibing.
Yeah,
It's good.
We're good. I got half a cup here. And that was the kind of short review. Excuse me, as I said, I would love people to come on and, you know, per se live, let people know exactly what the experience is like, what they're tasting, how it smells, how they feel. I feel pretty good, actually.
Yeah, me
I really
too.
do.
I'm kind of like slap happy too, just because it's just a lot has happened in the last 20 minutes. I knocked this thing over.
You guys missed a lot.
Should we introduce me?
We're going to reintroduce
Okay.
Cortni McPherson.
That's me.
That's her. She's an anxiety haver.
I'm an anxiety haver.
She's got anxieties. I've got anxieties too.
Yeah.
Welcome to our anxiety podcast. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
But realistically, yeah, we are going to talk a lot about anxiety today because we, in reality, are anxiety havers.
Mm-hmm.
What was the other word you used to describe yourself?
A strummer or something.
A strummer?
Yeah, well, because I was playing.
Oh,
with this.
fiddler.
Fiddler. Yeah, I said strummer.
You could be a strummer and a fiddler.
Yeah.
So we'll go back and Cortni and I actually had dated years back.
Ex-girlfriend extraordinaire.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
For 6 months.
I think.
Around.
About.
And so the way that we met was, and it's really cool, we can talk about how Cortni was such a huge impact and part of my sobriety. So during my early sobriety, in kind of the, I don't know, like that really full, like, I don't know, it just like right at the peak of my coming to, you know, the peak of, I was like, what, 2 years sober?
Really?
No
way.
Was I more? Less?
No way. Well, you're what, 10 years now?
Yeah, almost 11.
So, yeah, you're probably like 3 years, 3 or 4 maybe.
So really, I mean,
wow. You were a baby.
I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild. Yeah, I remember like going to meetings with you and stuff. Oh my gosh, I remember one time, sorry to like interject, we were at a meeting and meetings always choke me up too, because I just think people in recovery are the most amazing. And at the end when they're like, if anyone is available to be a sponsor, stand up, and you stood up and I was like, that's my girlfriend. Oh my God. It was like proud girlfriend moment. And I'm like tearing up now. I just think it's such a beautiful thing that you guys do. So it was really cool to be a part of that with you.
Yeah.
And I was voluntarily sober.
Right.
Just so I could like get my life together, not, you know, for any other reason other than that.
Yeah. So I think we vibed at a good point in our lives where we were both on a very similar restructuring of ourselves and what we do on our free time and like what do we want to be doing? And I think we both were at a point of like, you know, what I've been doing is not what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah. And I think we were also practicing navigating relationships sober.
Very much.
And I think like there was so much like raw like and safe conversation and growth that happened in that short amount of time that I think wouldn't have happened if you weren't sober and if I wasn't along for the ride. You know what I mean?
Correct.
It was dope.
Yeah, it was very cool. So it was entirely appropriate to have Cortni on the podcast to have this conversation. And I think that people are going to enjoy this. I think you're going to be able to relate, and that's the goal. Again, the goal is to bring kind of awareness around anxiety, resources, mental health, wellness. Obviously, we'll talk CBD. We already know Cortni has enjoyed her daydreaming.
Yeah, it's almost gone.
No surprise, really. Everyone loves it.
What's in it again?
So the daydreaming is jasmine pearls, all organic, USDA. Jasmine pearls, lemon peel, hibiscus, marshmallow root, and hemp flower.
And green tea, right?
Jasmine pearls are green tea.
Oh, okay.
So when they unfold. So I'm just going to, for anyone that might listen to this, right? If you order daydreaming, if that's your go-to, what I want you to know is that every bag is by weight. Every blend is weighed equally, yet daydreaming, you will notice it looks like there's not a lot in the bag. And the reason is because it's so dense. So hopefully there are people listening. And if you've wondered why maybe it doesn't look like a lot, it's because it's by weight.
It's heavier.
So
it's delicious.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Let's talk anxiety.
Let's talk anxiety.
Okay, I have a question.
Okay.
So on the last take that we did, the previous 20 minutes, you brought up a panic attack incident that I had while we were together.
Correct.
But I wanted to ask you, what was your experience with anxiety when we were together? Because I think I remember like one instance of you kind of like having a moment and I was like, I'm just going to sit here and like you tell me what you need, you know? And I was just like with you silently. But other than that, I feel like the focus of the anxiousness in the relationship was like my anxiety, you know?
It was.
So what was yours like at the time?
God.
Or like how was it different then?
Realistically,
compared to now?
I honestly think you nailed it when you said that a big factor was the fact that I was fairly newly sober and had not, I hadn't really, I was probably no more than 2 years. I'll say I was no more than 2 years. I know that. I just remember how raw I was to being with a woman or having feelings and crushing on someone without the bar scene, without alcohol, without drugs in the other room, where they were genuine feelings that weren't induced by alcohol or cocaine. It was like, I actually had to be vulnerable. There was no liquid courage.
Yeah.
And for, I don't know, we were comfortable with each other.
I think we understood that we were both figuring it out.
Anxiety havers.
We were anxiety havers.
Welcome to the club. If you are an anxiety haver, log online, join our club.
Yeah, I think it was, we both understood that neither of us were the expert and we were like figuring it out.
I think we were equals. And I think that that's what worked for both of us.
Yeah.
That it really was a partnership. Oh, and then here's a funny story. We're going to talk about Halloween, how Cortni left me on stage by myself.
Oh my God. Okay.
So this girl, listen to this. This girl, I remember the stress she had over the fact that we had to dress up as Minnie and Mickey for Halloween.
It was so cute.
She was like adamant. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
We got dressed in my house. And I looked so cute.
You did, like, so you had a light up bow tie?
I had a light up bow tie. We had the ears. So we go to this sober Halloween party, and there's quite a decent amount of people for sure. I'd say at least 60 some people maybe.
I don't know.
Okay. She was blacked out from anxiety. So she and it comes down to the costume contest, and I don't remember whose idea it was to enter. I think it was yours. I think it was her idea to enter, and you actually had to like walk on stage.
Yeah. And I bailed.
Froze froze up against the wall like a deer in headlights. And there's me walking across the stage in my little Mickey Mouse, and I'm completely anxious and so embarrassed. Everyone at the other side knew us. And so I think that they just kind of let it slide. And the end of the contest, we won Best Couple.
Yeah, and you won Best like individual costume.
Did I?
I almost said contest. You like won the thing.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. We were adorable though. I had a red tutu on. And
but realistically, I did all the work. Okay.
100%. You carried it.
I strutted for
sure.
both of us.
Yeah, but that's a good example of like, I think sometimes when you are anxious or when you're like, and ADD, ADHD brain, you are like.
Or what do you like, as you call me?
Well, oh, Dory. Yeah, she's Dory syndrome. You're like, I don't want to do this. And then you just bounce. You just kind of step out. Or I did in that instance.
Yeah. And, I'm going to say, kind of getting serious, that I think it's okay for people to do that.
Yeah.
I think one of the things in society that we see more and that people in our generation feel is pressure to look put together. Mm-hmm. I think there's pressure for people to look okay, to look their happiest. There's a lot of social media fabrication.
Yeah.
And what I want to say is that you can fucking step away anytime, no matter where you are. If you're not comfortable in wherever you are, take a deep breath and allow yourself to step away and that's not so that you can run from the anxiety. It's not
so you can manage it.
So you can manage it. And also the trick to managing anxiety is embracing it.
Totally. I would say my trick, I have 2 tricks for managing anxiety. And trick number 1 is to just name it, to recognize that like, I don't consider my anxiousness me. It's not a part of me.
Right.
It's something that happens to me that I can like isolate, and I can be like, this is like an anxiety bubble. I'm having a panic attack, and I can like isolate it and make it something separate from me. So once I'm able to name it and identify like, oh, that's just anxiety, then I can start to manage it. And then the second thing for me is to ask for what I need, which took me a long time to like feel empowered enough to do that. And sometimes when you're anxious, you need comfort. You need like, hey, can you just be here with me? You need tenderness. And sometimes you need like, I just need to be left alone. Sometimes you need somebody in the same room with you in silence. Sometimes you need.
Do you know what my weird go-to is? I don't know if you remember this.
I don't know. Well,
yeah, you do.
Playing guitar?
No.
Oh.
Cold ice water.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah. So that's for anyone, if you witness me having a panic attack ever, just the first thing, if I'm having a really bad one, ice water. Because when you're having,
it like wakes you up.
You're hot.
You're like, brings you back into your
body. You know how your body gets hot when you have anxiety attack. So, in my experience with my anxiety is that it's a physical reaction, and then it's a mental. And so if I attack the physical, like, okay, my hands are sweating, I'm shaking, and I feel hot, it's because my brain is kind of going into shock, because what anxiety is your mind projecting things in the future and creating scenarios in the human brain that haven't happened yet. Your brain doesn't know how to do that. So your body actually reacts and is like, I don't know what I'm supposed to feel because this isn't happening.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
And so anyway, the ice water is my go-to. It's not a cure-all, but CBD helps, meds help.
I also feel like whenever I get anxious, I always think that I'm going to throw up or that I'm going to shit myself. And so what I do now, is I tell myself, if and when that happens, I'll deal with it when it happens.
Are you okay?
I'm fine right now. Yeah, I'm good now. I threw up outside before I walked in. No, I tell myself, chances are I'm not going to throw up. I've never thrown up in public from anxiety, so I don't know why I think I'm going to.
Right.
But I tell myself, if I do throw up, I'll deal with it when I puke. Then I'll deal with it at that time. And I can just tell myself, like, it hasn't happened yet. And if it does happen, then I'll figure out what the next step is. But for right now, I'm not going to let myself freak out because I think that I'm going to shit my pants walking down the street. You know what I mean? Like, I've also never shit my pants. So why
I'm curious if you're listening and you have shit in your pants. It's okay.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you. So,
and if realistically, I want like these feelings are normal.
Yeah, I'm not the only person that's scared of shitting my pants.
Yeah. Or even wanting to puke. Like,
yeah.
If you have that feeling, I just want you to know that it's normal and it's okay.
Totally. To prepare for things that I know will make me anxious, things that trigger my anxiety are public transit, taking the train, flying, driving in traffic, going to concerts, being in crowded spaces, pretty much anything other than like interacting with one person at a time. I'm an anxiety.
You're an anxiety
So
haver.
what I do is I will not eat. So like I had to take a flight recently at like 6:30 at night, and I didn't eat all day because I'm like, if I get anxious on the plane, I don't want anything in my stomach to throw up. So I like,
that's a bad idea.
Totally bad.
Okay.
Don't do this.
Don't do that.
Do not do this.
Actually,
but
I'll just
I want to express how anxiety rules your life sometimes. It dictates what you do, and you make these really stupid decisions because of it.
Well, the key thing that I kind of want to focus on is that I've learned, so I've been in therapy for probably 15 years, and I'm still like, and I mean weekly, like I've never stopped. And I've learned a lot about anxiety, and a lot of understanding anxiety, excuse me, is actually the education of understanding what anxiety is. And so understanding that factor that it's a physical, it starts in a physical. And so, and I would just, having food in your stomach or not having food in your stomach can actually kind of make or break like you getting through it. Because if you have an empty stomach, your body has no nutrients, nothing to run on, which is not going to help. But that's okay.
Thank you, Dr. Gallagher.
Yes.
I had a question for you and I lost it. Shit. Oh,
no,
here's my question.
Shit.
Don't shit. Here's my question. How many times, if any, has your therapist brought up breath work for you as a tool for for anxiety management?
Probably all of them.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Maybe not breath work in the sense of someone that a yogi, not to that chakra stuff, but to breathing. And so I recently learned, and you probably know this, that so obviously when you breathe, you're getting oxygen to the brain.
You are?
Z.
Holy shit.
Yes, I don't know what Z was. That was supposed to be
to the brain.
To the brain. C. I think I meant to say C. And when they tell you, and I heard this from my friend Pat, is that they tell you to take deep, long breaths so that you can actually just get more oxygen to your brain.
Okay.
True or not, it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, breath work helps balance out the parasympathetic nervous system.
The what?
Parasympathetic nervous system. It's the part of it's essentially what your fight or flight runs on. So like your body responds to danger before your brain does. You know what I mean? So when you can regulate that and you can give yourself a moment to kind of think about whether or not you need to freak out, go ahead.
Interesting. So that's perfect. So I'm going to go to the board on this.
Oh, yay.
Going to the board.
I love the board.
CBD is cannabidiol. Did you know that?
I knew that.
Okay.
I knew that because I watched your first episode.
There we go. Avid listener. If y'all ain't listening, you suck. Just kidding.
No, they're literally listening right now.
Hi, listeners. Thank you for being here. So,
cannabidiol.
You mentioned the nervous, I'm going to shorten that to nervous system.
Sure.
So ultimately what cannabidiol, CBD, hemp, or even THC, they're all cannabinoids. And you have an ECS, which is an endocannabinoid system. Did you know this?
I did.
You have one.
I do?
I have one.
Did I have to pay for it or
no,
anything?
No, it's free.
Just came with the
just
bod.
Came with it.
Awesome.
And that works directly with the endocannabinoid system works directly with your nervous system.
Right.
When your cannabinoids or your ECS has extra CBD or even THC, that is one of the main components to how it interacts and brings nerves down, is because when the ECS is stocked per se, it regulates your nervous system. So they work hand in hand. That is the science behind CBD. So a lot of people don't know that. They just think CBD, like there's a scientific reason why you consume CBD. That's why it works.
It's wild to me that there are people who have like an aversion to trying it too, because I don't know how many times you can say it doesn't get you high.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you have a headache and you take an Advil. You know, you have a body ache and you take Tylenol. You have a mood ache, you need CBD.
A mood ache.
Yeah, like if you're bitchy or anxious or whatever.
I have mood aches
crazy
all the time. Does anyone else have mood aches?
I never have mood aches personally.
Yeah, that's a lie.
Never in my life, not once.
That's right. She don't have mood aches.
Not a single one. But no, I think there's no reason to have an aversion to it. It literally doesn't get you high. And I think I actually described.
Man, I feel so good right now.
Good.
With this.
Yeah, I do too.
Honestly,
mine's gone.
Yeah. I feel
you have
good.
some catching up to do. I will say.
I feel like my eyes are a little glazed over.
Oh.
Are they?
I don't know. It's just this dope light behind me.
Fluorescence.
I think for people who do like THC or do like
which
cannabis,
is totally welcome here.
The feeling of like chill that you get when you smoke is the same feeling of chill that you get from CBD, but minus the psychoactive high part of it, you know?
Correct.
So I don't understand the aversion to it. You can't lose anything by trying it. Like literally, unless you have an allergy to it, which I know some people do. But other than that, there's no reason to not try it.
Yeah. What I like to say, and a lot of people, excuse me, a lot of people will ask or say, right? So my last guest, Dan, when we tried CBD, after we were done, one of the first things he said, he's like, so like, am I supposed to feel something? And that's
so pure.
The funny thing, the way to answer that question as far as CBD is, it's not what you feel, it's what you don't feel.
Right.
So you're not going to, whereas THC, you're going to feel the high. Whereas CBD is more of a regulatory. It's like, you're not going to feel.
There's a balance
when you're here because you're supposed to feel that. So when, like right now, like I don't feel one way or another. I feel really good. I feel solid.
Good. I feel good too.
Yeah.
I feel like I could use some more tea.
I know someone who makes tea.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where can I get it?
I can call her. Or you can go to www.southernhemptea.com and you can shop there.
Nice. What other CBD products can I get there?
So let's see. There's 4 CBD blends. There are amazing lavender eucalyptus bath bombs. The newest thing that people love, which
I'm going to get some before I leave.
We're sold out.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I'm actually sold out.
I'm livid.
We are sold out of
now
honey
I'm having
sticks.
emotions.
Now she's having mood aches.
Mood aches?
Yeah.
Ooh, girl.
We did sell out of honey sticks, and the people are eating. Literally, some people, Brittany and M, who will be listening, they've listened twice to actually my last podcast because they're such a fan. Anywho, there's CBD honey sticks, which are currently sold out. We are making more. And then there are the henny. There's no henny.
No.
This is hemp.
Henny-free zone.
Henny-free. Honey hemp leaves.
Yep.
And
soap.
There's some amazing soap from Colorado. And there are Southern Hemp Tea mugs.
Yes.
Courtney's taking
They're
this
sturdy.
one home today. That's yours.
I am?
That's you.
Oh my gosh.
Yay,
I'm
look,
so
she forgot all
excited.
about the honey sticks. No, she didn't.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Again.
So yeah, there's a variety of stuff. There's some pretty good stuffs on that store.
Yeah.
And also what we can talk about too, before we kind of wrap up, we've got a little bit of time.
Nice.
May 14th through 16th.
Oh, yes.
Southern Hemp Tea is going to be premiering in Lincoln Park doing a pop-up
Yes.
shop.
Yeah.
And I just realized what a pop-up shop was like a month ago. I just heard of it. And
You
so
guys, that's so cute.
I
That's so pure.
Yeah. I just dove in so it's going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the 14th through the 16th. There are going to be a little variance of times, but Cortni will be there.
In the flesh.
Yeah, flesh.
Yeah.
With her ECS.
Oh, my endocannabinoid system.
Yeah, we'll be there too.
Yeah.
So if y'all want to come and get a boost for your ECS, it's going to be at 2922 North Clark Street in Chicago. It's going to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We will have giveaways, and there's going to be a little photo booth. We're going to do tea demonstrations. There's going to be discounts, a lot of socials and photos and cool stuff. Probably, like I said, giveaways, T-shirts.
Will that make you anxious?
A little. I want people to show up.
Yeah.
I really it costs quite a few bucks.
A little bit.
And that's the hard part, is investing in a business, is you have to take a risk.
So you're more anxious about people not showing up than about having like being around tons and tons of people?
Oh, the people. Yeah, no, I love people.
Okay.
That's why I love doing this.
Yeah.
I love talking to people. I also get nervous. I do get nervous because I can take feedback sometimes personally. Like if someone were to take a sample, right, they walk around and they say, thanks, have a good day, and they walk out.
Mm-hmm.
That tells me I didn't do enough to bring them in.
No way.
That's what yeah. So because I'm about the customer experience. Like, what can I bring to the table to make sure that and again, but CBD is not for everyone.
Right.
And tea is just not for everyone.
Right.
But if you're smart, you will drink Southern Hemp Tea.
I think you bring up a funny point, because speaking of being an anxiety haver,
Yes, me.
whenever I go into a store, if the person working like acknowledges me, specifically like a small store, like a local business or something, not like a Walmart, but if the people
What's
working
wrong with
there,
Walmart?
girl, don't get me started.
Walmart.
But if the people working there acknowledge me and they're like, hey, can I help you find something? And then I start walking around, I feel so bad if I leave without buying something. And that's like an anxious thing that I have. I'm like, shit, I don't want them to think they did something wrong.
Right. And so
I don't want them to think I don't like their products. Maybe it's just
anxiety is when your
Right.
mind is tricking you.
right. Exactly.
Like, that's not
and
really
when it makes you
happening.
do dumb shit because you're afraid of whatever unsettling situation it is. So like I might end up buying a fucking $60 keychain from this stupid store because
Just
somebody's
because
watching me and I feel bad.
Okay, raise your hand if you have done that.
I mean, not a $60 one.
Because
but
I
still.
really have.
Yeah.
I've absolutely done that.
Yeah, but what's so hard about just
You know what
saying
it
thank
is?
you, I hope you have a great day.
It's
and then,
fear.
Yeah, for sure.
It's
Isn't
all
it so stupid?
It's all based in fear.
Yeah. And then you go home and then you have this expensive fucking
And then you go
keychain.
home and then you have what? Guilt and remorse.
Yeah, buyer's remorse. But I mean, whatever. It's weird, man. Life, being a human, having a human experience is weird. And I think giving yourself permission to be uncomfortable is like the game changer. That's the game changer for me. Is
Right.
stop trying to avoid discomfort.
Right.
Things can be awkward. We can have like 10 seconds of silence on a podcast and not let it be awkward. You know what I mean? If nothing's coming up.
I have an ADD brain, so most likely I'll
There's
start
always
talking
something
before
going
that
on.
10 seconds.
For sure, but this is true. But I'm just saying, let things be uncomfortable. Like when I would teach yoga.
The thought of sitting here just now in
Yeah.
silence for 10 seconds made me anxious.
Yeah, I bet.
Because my body I don't like to sit still.
Right.
So that's funny.
Yeah.
And I just sharing on that, anyone that has ADHD, it is very much linked to anxiety. And so they kind of feed off each other.
Yeah, for sure.
So I have anxiety disorder, then I have ADHD, and my ADHD also produces anxiety.
And
so I am
ADHD
poster child
brains,
for fucking mental health.
right. ADHD brains are so creative too, which means you can come up with some creative ass scenarios.
Gone.
Finally, except for that. Was that for the homies?
That's for the homies.
I like it.
Okay.
I don't know what I was saying. Oh,
ADHD
I wanted
brain.
to say, when I would teach a yoga class, what I would say all the time is let it be hard. So what you will see is people attempting a pose or even attempting stillness, and getting uncomfortable, getting fidgety, coming out of it. And not to the point where there's pain, but to the point where you're allowing yourself a moment to let it be difficult. Like, stop trying to avoid shit that's hard and stop trying to avoid shit that's uncomfortable or that's awkward. You know, people, I won't name a name, but there's somebody I'm very close to who will be anxious if he sends text to people and that person hasn't responded for a while, and he's like, look, I sent all of this and they haven't responded yet, and do I follow up again to it? Just fucking do it. Who cares? It's the other person's responsibility to say if you're texting too much. Like,
True.
don't
Communication.
don't overthink it, and don't worry about the discomfort of it or
Sure.
the awkwardness.
So
like,
that makes
stand
me-
your ground.
That makes me actually think of another, another experience. Why does this sound weird?
I think you sound great.
Oh, great. Righto. I've been told that I have a soothing voice.
Yeah, who said that?
Am I soothing you guys now? Go to sleep.
No, because I'm going to say why. Because when we first started dating back then, there was like a walkie-talkie app, and we would like walkie-talkie each other. Voxer, that's what it was.
Boxer.
That's what it was. And we would just
You like my
walkie-talkie each
voice?
other. And I was like, she has the prettiest voice.
I would talk to her like this. She said, "Oh, she pretty."
That's not true. That is not true.
So,
anyway, what were you going to say?
Before we kind of wrap up, I could talk forever. I know we could keep going, but do you remember the time that I met you for acro yoga?
Yeah. A couple of years ago, like 2 years ago.
And I remember, I forgot why. I don't remember what was going on in my life that I was in such I was.
Because you drove from Tennessee. You drove straight there from Tennessee.
No, I didn't.
You did. I begged you to come. And you're like,
No.
I've been in the car for 8 fucking hours. And I'm like, just come. It's going to feel so good. Please just come.
So
And
I
you
got
straight
there. I sat in the parking lot. I got in the parking lot. And everything inside of me was like, it was like trying to explode, because I was projecting what was going to happen when I walked into this acro yoga class. And the things that went through my mind were, 1, I don't know anyone. 2, I don't know what I'm doing. And for me, I will just vulnerably share one of my biggest insecurities is when I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'd never done acro yoga, and Courtney always wanted me to wear yoga pants, and I never would.
I mean, it's a good look on you.
Oh, well, thank you.
It's not a bad look for
Yoga
you.
pants do wonders. And and so I remember you asked me, I think before I went in, you asked 1 to 10, like, what is your anxiety at? And I said a 9. And when I left, and also there is video footage of this amazing acro yoga chick here. When I left, I don't think I could even really name a number because it was gone.
Yeah.
And so I will just say, for anyone that's never done acro yoga, try it. It's a really interesting experience where you have to let go of all of your shit, and you have to put your body in someone else's hands and hope that they don't fucking let you drop face down. And that was also another experience where we really have shared a lot of moments together.
Yeah.
And we've kind of supported the other because we know what it feels like.
Totally.
And so
Yeah.
that's ultimately, I think my goal for today was for people to get a double dose of 2 anxiety havers.
Yeah.
To really see that millions of us deal with it. And so you're not alone. And my DM is always open. You can find Courtney, who is not currently teaching yoga because of COVID, but previously taught yoga, and she is kind of a spiritual book reading kind of fiddler.
I'm fiddling.
No. So if you ever want to reach out to her,
Yeah. It's Cortni Grooves on Instagram.
It's Cortni Grooves.
CORTNI _Grooves.
grooves. She
on
grooves.
Instagram. I groove.
She's groovy.
I'm a groover.
Yeah.
That's helped with my anxiety, was finding yoga and grooving. And not only finding yoga, but also giving myself permission in a yoga class to do what feels good for my body, do what feels right for me, which might not look like what the people around me are doing. And like being able to express myself in a yoga class, being able to cry in a yoga class, which I do all the time.
Has anyone else cried in a yoga class?
If you haven't, you need to take more yoga classes.
I've never cried in a yoga class. But I will tell you a really quick funny thing before we...
Or are we at time?
Yeah, I guess. But I once did yoga with one of my girlfriends, and actually I feel like...
Was it me?
No. Well, we did yoga.
You did yoga with another girlfriend?
I did yoga with another girlfriend.
Fuck that girlfriend.
I know. Yeah, I know. She kind of sucks. Oh, boy. And there was something about, I want to say it was a tennis ball thing, or there was some kind of a ball.
Okay.
And you were supposed to sit on it. Do you know about this?
I mean, that's more like fascia work, like
It was
myofascia
something
stuff.
weird. And
Okay.
the whole time, right? And I'm fucking so nervous. One, because the girl at the time, if she listens to this, whatever, she was a Pilates instructor, and she was very knowledgeable of yoga and all that. And, I wanted to kind of impress her and know what I was doing. And all of a sudden, this ball thing, we're supposed to be sitting on this ball, and I'm looking around, and it turns out that like I've got the ball literally like up my butthole, and it's not. She's like,
That's not where it goes.
I was like, this doesn't feel right. and honestly, that was a moment where I was so embarrassed.
Yeah.
I really was embarrassed. And like, I think
Don't be.
yoga is definitely, you have to be vulnerable
Totally.
to get into yoga. And so,
Dude, people fart in yoga. People cry in yoga. People apparently have tennis balls in their ass in yoga.
yes, those are the good classes. You pay extra for those.
Right. It teaches you to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of value in that. And whether or not yoga is your outlet, like whatever your outlet is that allows you to be a student, to be willing to learn, to be willing to fail, to be willing to have community with people and find mentors and find teachers, like all of that is going to just like holistically help you out as a whole. But specifically if you have anxiety or...
There's more to it than just the yoga.
Oh, 100%.
There's a whole
100%.
aspect of a community and a place that you feel like you belong to.
Yeah.
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 I think that's important. That's what I want people to find here on Spilling Our Tea, is that, again, the Spilling Our Tea was kind of a play on like airing out our dirty laundry.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's meant to open up conversations about our humanness.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about anxiety. It's not just about CBD. But it's just about relationships too, and different perspectives. So I think today was awesome. And I like the idea that I actually am glad that we fucked up the first one.
Yeah, me too.
I think that this went the way it was supposed to, and we got to touch base on the board here.
Yeah.
There were some rated R things, so don't let your children listen to this.
Right.
And wrapping up, to let you guys know, if you want to shop and drink Southern Hemp Tea, it's www.southernhemptea.com. And
come see us at the pop-up.
And come see us at the pop-up. Mm-hmm. So May 14th through the 16th. Please come out.
Yeah.
I really, really need you to come out.
It's going to be rad.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. It's in Lincoln Park. DM me if you have questions. And thank you for being a human, a supporter, a friend, a girlfriend, a humanitarian, an anxiety haver.
Yeah.
And someone that always fucking loves me and supports me.
For sure. And I'm really fucking proud of you too. I know I tell you that a lot, but I'm going to just say it while we're recording.
You do, yeah.
I'm super proud of you.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. It's hard work, and I just hope it pays off, and I'm glad you are a part of the journey.
Thanks.
So we're out of tea, and we're out of time.
That's it.
Folks.
Adios.
So thank you all, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.